So I've done it. Taken me a little while to get here, but I finally made it to 500 subscribers. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my journey, some of the top tips if you want to start growing your YouTube channel. Sitting down in front of the camera without a plan is just moronic. Now, clearly only having 500 subscribers makes me far from an expert, but I think one thing it does give me is I can talk about some of the struggles that I faced as a very, very small-time YouTuber. The YouTube algorithm loves this thing. I've worked in big tech. I've worked on lots and lots of products. Now, in my view, I suspect that the YouTube algorithm, it's made up of a whole series of products. The homepage will be a product, recommended videos will be a separate product, browse will be a separate product, suggested videos will be a separate product. And so I think it's really inaccurate to say the algorithm loves this, because you could be talking about different parts of the algorithm. And what you will invariably find is that when people say the algorithm loves this, what they are actually talking about for the most part is going to be their anecdotal experiences. I uploaded a video and I did this particular thing and the video did well, ergo the algorithm must have liked it. And whilst that's true to some extent, I think it's quite like the correlation and the causation I think are a bit off. Take it with a pinch of salt is all I'm trying to get at. So what would be my tips? As I say, this is just based on my purely anecdotal experience. The first is engage with your community. When people comment, make sure you comment back, make sure you respond. That is how you will build trust. But also, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but you know, people who are working in your niche, much bigger creators, go onto their videos, comment on them, because at the very least you are at least putting your name out there. Maybe you're on the train on the way to work, just go on someone else's video and get in the comment section. Obviously don't be a knobhead, but just go in there and comment. I wouldn't necessarily, to me it feels kind of, we'll just say bad manners to go onto someone else's video and say, hey, I did a video about this, link is just here. Like, don't do that shit. As I said before, scripting takes some time. No scripting is a disaster. So for me, the happy ground is somewhere in the middle. And I think every moron will say, oh, just, you know, you've just got to go out there and do it. Don't make excuses, don't hold you back, blah, blah, blah. Sitting down in front of the camera without a plan is just moronic. You have to have at least thought about your setup. Now, it's the fine balance of actually getting up and filming something and the analysis paralysis. Just once you've got a reasonable idea, once you're about halfway there, that's the go point. Get your packaging right, so that's your title and thumbnail, and think about it beforehand. Now, that's not to say you can't change it kind of further down the line. I used a AI tool, which I think was called Headline by CoSchedule, something like that. I've not had a whole lot of luck with them, to be honest. I think the titles that they come up with in this particular niche, where you're trying to simplify stuff down, having an AI tool that comes up with convoluted clickable titles seems a bit counterintuitive. So my experience, not been great really. Work with people who are in your niche, who are just starting out. I must say I've met a couple of really good folks. Links for their channels will be in the description. Why not? I've met some really kind of people who you can just spitball ideas with, people who are, maybe they're at slightly different stages, they've got slightly different takes, slightly different ideas, and it's just someone else who is in this weird world that you can run your ideas by. And there's this clip from Mr. Beast ages ago where he said that him and like 8 of his friends spent 1,000 days talking about nothing but YouTube, and as far as he was concerned, he could get to the same objective 8 times quicker. And I think that's a really good way of looking at it. Just find people who are a similar niche to you. Most people aren't dickheads. If you just email them and just say, hey, we've just started doing this thing, do you want to collaborate, do you want to chat? Maybe you produce some content together. I think there's definitely value in doing that. But safety first. A lot of other channels will talk about how important the first 30 seconds is. I think it's the first 10 seconds. My general preference is to not go into the whole, hey, welcome back to the channel, we say this, we do that, blah, blah, blah. For me, it is just generally stating a problem or generally stating a question, what you're going to discuss in that video, and the credibility that you need to bring to it. So a lot of my videos will be like, don't you wish you could get out of your overdraft, or don't you wish you could pay off that credit card bill? Question. In this video, we're going to be covering key topics and key steps to help you get there, the solution, and then the credibility bit in my case might be this is a principle that I used as a former investment analyst, something like that. You've stated the problem, you've stated what you're going to talk about in the video, and you've built some credibility in the first 10 seconds. Constantly be reviewing your channel. Barely a day goes by when I'm not changing a title. I may be testing it, maybe I'm putting up a new thumbnail. Be in that situation where you're constantly trying to evolve your videos, and invariably you might learn something which you can then apply to a future video. So thanks very much for watching. Slightly a different video to usual, but this has been about my journey to 500 subs. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video if any of it's been helpful, and check out some of the other videos that are appearing around here. Peace.